Hey Lady Cat, Dion Johnson here from dionjohnson.com, and we've been talking about BFDLs, big fat dirty lies or excuses that women, ladies like you and I, potential lady cats, are using to sabotage actually and to resist going for the more that they are longing for in work and life. Now today, I want to recap because I want to wrap up this excuses piece. So I want to recap before I go on to the last excuse. That on day one we talked about the excuse of being too old. We realised that no, you're not too old. You needed to get to this point in your life to be able to do what you're about to do in your work and life. And day two we talked about the fact that a lot of you are thinking, I'm just too greedy, like shouldn't I just be satisfied? And we talked about actually it's the most benevolent thing you can do to go for the more that you're longing for. It's going to be fabulous and it's going to impact a lot of people. And on yesterday we talked about the lie that you have to be a businesswoman to go for more. You have to be an entrepreneur. And we talked about no, that actually isn't all that accurate, although there's nothing wrong with being an entrepreneur, everything right with being one. You start right there, right where you are, and you become what you're going to do. You become more. So today, the final excuse that I really want to talk about, of the top 4 excuses that I hear regularly, is the excuse about other people's needs. I tell you, when I speak to people who are obviously longing for something more in their life, one of the strongest excuses that I hear is it's not the right time for the kids. You know, my kids need me to be doing this. Or my husband. Or the organisation, you know, that the organisation wouldn't be able to function if I wasn't there. Let me tell you, this is a BFDL extraordinaire. It's a big fat dirty lie. Oftentimes I ask parents, what do you want for your kids? And they always say things to me like, you know, I want them to be able to do exactly what I want them to live, the life that they were born to live. I want them to be able to fly, to soar, to do great things in the world. And then I ask them, well, who's going to teach them that? And there's always this little pause when women clock that children don't do what we say, they do what we do, and they really need you. Our children need us to model that. Now, do you think that they know that you want more? Do you think that your children know that you're dissatisfied and you know there's an appetite for something else in you? Even if you don't say it, I bet they do. And when you resist it, when you hold back, when you put excuses in the way, what do you think that's teaching our kids? What do you think that's teaching our next generation? Think about that for a minute. And a husband or a spouse or a friend that needs you to stay in the same place as you are now for things to be okay with you and them. That's a dodgy relationship, peeps. It needs looking at. You see, if somebody's going to need you to stay where you are for you to be okay with them, then there's a problem with that relationship. Same with the organisation. If an organisation needs you to be there to be able to function, something's really wrong with that organisation's function and structure and framework. Listen, you need to be around people who celebrate your exploits, your truest, deepest appetites for more. And if you're not around those people, then that really needs looking at, and you need to take responsibility for looking at it. You see, it's the same with all of these excuses. The too old, the too greedy, the not good enough business person, and this excuse of other people. Let me tell you, that's the thing about excuses, is that they're kind of like masks that we wear. They're lies that we put up that sound acceptable, that explain away our reticence for doing the real work. And oftentimes the real work means confronting a difficult situation head on. And sometimes that's just so scary. What we do instead is put up excuses. So we're wrapping up the excuses piece today. And I just really wanted you to think about the excuses that you have been perpetuating in your thoughts about why you won't pursue the more that you obviously so much desire. What's that about? Have any of the points that we've raised this week helped you to begin to become enthusiastic about the desire to let go of these excuses? The quicker you do it, let go of these excuses, the quicker you can face the reality of what it's going to take for you to move forward towards your more. It's when you decide to kick these excuses and these BFDL to the curb that the real work can begin, and you can begin to see what really needs to happen. And it's not going to be with other people first. Honestly, the work that's going to really need to be happening is going to be inside here in your heart, in here in your mind, and it's going to be in your approaches and your behaviours. When we let go of the excuses, we get a chance to really see what the real issues are. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. We'll start a new conversation tomorrow, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I'll speak to you next time.